Okay, good evening, everybody. If I can just ask you all to mute yourselves first, that would be fantastic. So good evening from what is becoming a very sunny UK in lots of different ways. And one way is hopefully next week, the 19th of July, most of our restrictions for COVID will be lifted. Woo, about time. There'll still probably be a few stipulations, but we are being able to go and see people, be in their homes, be in their gardens or whatever. And with that means that we can get a chance to actually physically see people. So I have actually had the opportunity, sort of COVID restricted wise, being able to meet up with a few people and being able to do the demonstration. So for any of you are new on here and don't know what we mean, then stay tuned because we're going to be talking about the demo. Now, I must admit, having not done the demo for many months, I kind of forgot to do bits of the demo. So we thought we'd do a bit of a recap for everybody this evening. It is such a key part on getting the message across about the VoxxLife technology. And once people feel the difference, then that's it, they're hooked then. So we're moving very much from online and much more sort of physical now. I want to pass across to Emma Govender because recently she sort of had a lunch date with somebody and it turned into more. So I'm going to let her just share her story on this occasion. Over to you, Emma.
Thank you so much. Lovely to see everybody. And I was sitting here thinking it's a bit like your kind of first love. You kind of get used to the demo and then you've got COVID and we weren't really able to kind of go out and do the demo and we did all kind of forget about it a little bit. So I met somebody on a networking group very recently and we got chatting and I invited her over to my house for lunch. And that was great to sit and have salad and to chat and to connect with one another. And she told me all about her wonderful skin products and I told her about our wonderful technology. And it suddenly occurred to me just before she left, I said, hey, should we do the demo? And she was interested in getting a sleeve anyway. And she was interested in getting the socks. But I'm so pleased that I did ask her if she fancied doing the demo because it takes a matter of minutes. And yet I had no idea how powerful it would be. So we did the demo. And of course, the demo just does its thing. I mean, we just do it. And then it's powerful and it's dynamic. And we know that because when we do it, we can feel it happening in our bodies. But sometimes we forget how it can be kind of dynamic for the person that we're doing it on. And I would have thought that myself, were it not for the fact that I jumped onto another business networking meeting and she was on that meeting as well. And she told everybody how incredible the demo is and how dynamic it is and how she was really kind of wowed by the demo. And that just wowed me to think, gosh, that little demo, kind of, it's a great card to pull out your back pocket and don't forget the demo sort of thing, because it's so easy to forget it and to think, and I know there's all sorts of things around touching people and this sort of thing, you might need a bit more permission and to feel safe and everything. But if you have got that freedom to go ahead and do it, it just made me think, jump in there and go for it, because it made an impact on her and she communicated it to this group on a Zoom meeting. And I then alerted myself to remember, wow, the demo, don't forget the demo. It is a powerful thing. So that's my little story.
Brilliant. Thank you, Emma. Thanks for sharing that. And I think we're probably all finding, or we'll find those experiences. Now, we thought we'd put a little video together from within the UK, but unfortunately, we haven't yet sort of got compliance on that. We're not sure if it was because it was Rosalie in a bikini or whether it was the content of the video. We're waiting to find that out. But needless to say, we're going to share one that is in our back office. I'm going to talk in a minute about where you can go and find these demos, where's the best place to find them and things like that. But meanwhile, I'm going to pass across to Stuart Holcroft, he's the Nikki Cheetham control master tonight. And he's hopefully going to play just a 3-minute video that Dr. Mark DeBrinket does with the demo. But as I say, we're going to be then talking a little bit further. So over to you, Stuart.
Thank you. So I'm the very cheap version of Nikki Cheetham, who's obviously much more skilled than I am. So let's see how this goes.
Welcome to today's video on demonstrating the Voxx HPT technology. Now, before we get started with the actual demonstration, I want to first mention that this specific technology, this code that has been built into the socks and into the insoles, was designed to be used in one place on the body only, and that is the bottom of the foot. This is a primary location for your dermatomes to have maximum input to the brainstem, and hence the brain and all the functioning of this technology. So with that, trying to demonstrate this product in any other way than used on the bottom of the foot is not only not accepted by the company, but you're doing yourself a disservice because the patient is not going to get the maximum benefit for what this technology can do neurologically. So with that, let's go ahead and show you a couple ways that we can actually demo this product. Come on in. So the first test, we're going to actually use the insoles to test this one. And so what I'm going to have her do is I want her to get a shoulder width apart stance. And I'll instruct the person to put their arms at their side and lock their elbows and make 2 fists. Now I want them to feel grounded like a tree and feel really strong. Now I'm going to come up next to her and I'm going to lift up on the bottom of her fist, and I want her to just resist this. And as I lift up, she'll lose her balance and fall over. Now, the second option, if that test is not working well for you because you can't actually lift up strong enough to get them to lose their balance, you can turn and face the patient, interlock your hands, and then we're going to come up underneath the fist and raise up this way. Okay, so we just do that once or twice to help her demonstrate that it's really hard for her to keep her balance. Then we're going to go ahead and place the insoles just in front of her feet and ask her to stand on them. It's important that if you're using a different size insole than the person's foot, that their feet are all the way up in front of the insole so that the tech is in the ball of the foot. Then we're going to have the patient repeat the same exercise. Hands at your side, make 2 fists, and we're going to raise up, and immediately they're going to feel 10 times stronger. Now we could also do it sideways and lift up this way. And immediately they're going to feel stronger without even having to resist. So for this next demonstration, we're going to do a dynamic stability. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the client actually get their feet together, put one fist in front of the other, right in front of their chest, and I'm going to have them resist as I pull down. Now when I pull straight down, typically the patient is going to fall forward and lose their balance. So then just like before, we're going to take the insoles and place them just in front of their feet and have them step up on them and repeat this process. And now as I pull down, you will pull a lot stronger and they're not going to budge. And so that explains their dynamic stability front to back, as well as that lateral stability from the previous tests. So this next test is going to demonstrate the range of motion test. So simply have your patient stand with her shoulder width apart and her arms straight out. We're going to then instruct her to rotate one direction to the right, and then I'm actually going to put my hand here where that ended. Now I'll have her stand on top of the insoles. And as she comes back, we should see typically about a 15% increase in range of motion.
Brilliant. So some great things to think about there with Dr. Mark in terms of keeping your hand in place and all those great tips as well. But hopefully we're going to get even some more ninja tips from one of our attendees later on as well.
I think, Stuart, at this point, I just want to interject. Now, that video was May 2018. Obviously, Dr. Mark talks about it being done on the sole of the foot. Obviously, we have the patches now. So, you know, you can do demonstrations by putting a patch on somebody. But the beauty of using the insoles is you can have them step on and step off, step on again and step off, because you do get some people who just don't believe kind of what's happening. So rather than putting something that's just a little bit more permanent on their arm, you can have them be stepping on and off. So I just wanted to clarify that point. But Stuart, recently you've had a fantastic experience, and I thought you might want to share that with us as well.
Yeah, thanks. It was a tremendous experience. So recently I was given a contact with a chap that runs an archery centre. And he also revealed to me on the phone call to book the meeting that he had one client in particular who was a bit neurologically imbalanced and had some balance issues and some pain issues to manage as well. I didn't ask any more because, frankly, I couldn't change what I was going to do anyway. So I drove for an hour, got to this centre. I arrived, met with Dave, Helen, and the other chap, James. And basically, I just met Helen and said, "Hello, Helen. I'm Stuart. How do you do? Great to meet you. Could you do me a favour? Could you wear this sleeve on your dominant arm, please, on the forearm? And I'll speak to you about it in 20 minutes' time. Would that be okay?" So we did that. She put it on, talked nothing more about it. And I said, and everybody here, I'd like to show you this dynamic stability test and the range of motion test, etc. So we started to put them onto the insoles, and they do look darker in here with this lighting than they are in real life. I promise you, they're not that dirty looking. So we put them on the technology, and we did all the various tests. So we showed them a great result to start with. I then took them off the insoles and gave them all a patch onto their forearm. Obviously, not the one with the sleeve on, but the other arm. And I said, let's just keep them on for a while, chat, see how things are going. Anyway, Helen, she started to move around like this with her shoulders. And I said, Helen, do you mind me asking what you're doing? She said, yeah, funny thing is that I used to get to about there, and the pain would stop me moving my elbow, my shoulder any further. I'm now getting to about there. And she said, and it's not the pain that's stopping me, it's just the lack of movement in my muscles. It's getting a bit tight. And I said, well, what about the other arm? She said, oh, it's perfectly fine on that side. Whereas beforehand, she was really quite stiff. And she then went to the archery range next door, part of the same complex. And after 10 minutes, she came back in. I was chatting to the other people. And also one of the key things I must say is that when they were doing the demonstration with Helen, one of the guys said to me, "Oh, you're lifting harder, or you're not pushing as hard." I said, "Okay, I'll take that compliment. Thank you. You come and do the test." So we got them to do the tests on each other. And my goodness me, was that a convincing test at the end of that. So anyway, Helen then went next door, came back in 10 minutes later. She said, "Can I show you something?" Dave, who was the archery owner, and is also her coach for the last 10 years, I discovered as well. So she fired some arrows, went to collect them, came back, fired some arrows, went to collect them, came back. And I just said, "Well, Helen, that looks great to me. What's different?" And Dave just said, for the last 5 years, Helen's not been able to stand up and fire an arrow. She's had to sit down. For the last 10 years, she's not been able to walk forward and collect the arrows and come back without having to lie down in absolute pain and agony for 2 hours afterwards. And then Helen started to talk about doing a big challenge of doing 12 lots of arrows and coming back in and whatever else. And at this stage, Dave then said, and also one of the fundamental things for me, Helen, is that in the last 10 years that I've known you, you've not been able to stand up when you're firing. The last 5 years, I've not seen you smiling when you've been firing an arrow. So in terms of the transformation for you, it's phenomenal. And also, he said to her, "If I look at your left knee," he said, "what's different?" She looked down, she said, "It's not shaking." She said, "It's not shaking, and it's also not collapsing in towards the right knee, which basically disrupts her whole balance as well." So she just said, "Thank you so much for doing that demonstration with me and then letting me wear this technology for such a long period of time." So she had the I gave her some more patches to try out for the next few days. And she's very, very keen now on getting some more tech, especially the sleeve and especially the neuro tech in the form of Harmony or socks and insoles. So the power of the demonstration is absolute. And I've got to say, I left that place with a, you know, I don't think I drove home. I think I flew home. And certainly the power of demonstration for all those people there was just absolutely palpable. So yes, keep going.
That's brilliant. Thanks, Stuart, for sharing that. I heard that story the other day, and it just, it makes you go goose pimply, doesn't it? It really does. And you know what? Sometimes that hour drive or whatever, you might sort of be thinking, oh, is this really worth it? And you know, we have things like that happen, which is fantastic. Now, for those that haven't yet done the demo, if you want to rewatch that Dr. Mark DeBrinket one, it's actually in our back office. Now, you may not have seen it in there because for me, it's kind of in a weird place to look. So if you've got a pen and paper, basically go into your back office, click on resources, okay, not the showcase, but resources. Then click on training, the tab that says training. And then it's actually within the training videos on how to use the back office. For some reason, it's amongst there. And if you go to the 11th item, which is on page 2, okay, it's the last item, you will then see there VoxxLife product demo, okay? So Stuart's just going to demonstrate. So training videos on how to use it. Click down, click on page 2, and there it is, a VoxxLife product demo. Now, if like me, you just stumbled on it, then you'll know it's there. But I thought I'd highlight that one. But as I say, that is one from sort of 3 years ago. Now, hopefully you're all on Facebook, because that's where obviously our testimonial page is. And we have such a wealth of information within our Voxxination page. So if you're not on the Voxxination page, then you need to get yourself on there. Now, when you're in these groups and in Voxxination, there's a little magnifying glass. Click on it and type in demo, okay? And you'll have lots of different posts that come up where the word demo has been in it somewhere, okay? Now you will see Kevin Duguay, who's on here today, you will see him crop up a lot, and you will see him do demos, not just people standing, people sitting in chairs, in wheelchairs. You'll see him do it on the elderly. You'll see him do it on little kids. Just go and look at all those sorts of things. Now, one that I did find quite recent, well, I say I found it recently, but it's actually been on there since March 2019. It's a lady called Rebecca Naylor, who it's about, I think, 17 minutes long. And she does sort of troubleshooting tips and tricks with the demo. Okay, so you might get, you know, those guys that feel they've really got to push down and things like that. And that might be worth a watch as well. So they're certainly the best places to go to. Sometimes if you go into the VoxxLife YouTube channel, you'll probably find, in fact, the Dr. Mark one is probably in there as well. But quite often just Googling it. But I would say stick with what's in Voxxination, because quite often somebody may have seen a demo that they think is really powerful and they've got a lot from it, and they share that within their comments or within Voxxination as a post itself. Okay, so certainly go and have a look. Become an expert with this. But as Stuart said, you can get people doing it on each other to prove that it's not us just, you know, mucking about or, you know, sort of trying to trick them and things like that. I think that's a really powerful thing. So I'm not going to talk anymore. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hand over to the king of demo, Kevin, as he is on tonight. So we always like to utilize his experience and knowledge. So I'm going to hand over to you, Kevin. Maybe your top 5 tips, or, you know, I know, well, where's the time now? We've got, I know, got all evening, Kev. We can listen to you all evening, generally about 10 minutes or so. But I'm going to hand over to you, Kev, and I'll let you sort of summarize.
Thanks, Joe, Stewie, and Emma. I live for the demo. If you don't know me, if you never met me before, I could Voxx all day long, forever. It's the greatest high in the world. So I'll give you a couple of tips of what I've seen and learned over the years to kind of help you move forward. So first and foremost is you got to practice. Okay, this is really important. So just you saw with Dr. Mark and other videos, find a friend, practice, and work on your technique. Okay, that's first and foremost, because you got to get good at the demo. Because if you're not, it's like Emma said, well, you know, I thought maybe I should, I don't know, COVID distancing, 6 feet, forget it, man. Listen, can I show you something? Yeah, what do you got? Here, watch this. So wherever I go, just so you know, Emma, I got a mask if I have to wear, and I'm Voxxing them right there in the spot. I don't care if it's in the driveway, on a trail, in the park, in the coffee shop. Why? Because they need to know what it's like to have tea and biscuits made the English way versus the North America way. And they go, wow, that's tea and biscuits? That's amazing. And because it's an emotional experience. And this is what I've learned in the 7 years of doing this with people, is they can think all they want. When they experience the demo, just like Stewie saw with that archer, it's over. You know, it's like Vince Carter in the NBA. It's over. There's nothing you can tell me because you just felt it. Okay, so that's one part, practice. Number two is have fun and take your time with the demo. So I'll give you some cues. So when I do the lateral and dynamic and I get them all positioned, just like Dr. Mark said, I then go, because see, they don't know what's coming, right? It's like you go to the doctor and they're going to do some test and they go, what are you going to do? Well, I'm going to surprise you. Most people don't like surprises. They're like, what are you going to do to me? He said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to slowly pull down on your fist, or I'm going to slowly pull up on your fist. I want you to resist me. Don't let me move your arms down, or don't let me lift your arm up on the lateral dynamic. You understand that? So I go slowly. I get my hands in position and I slowly put, I'm going to bring the camera down here, and I slowly push down on them. And I just push enough, folks, just to disturb them. I don't want them to collapse in me. Like, I've walked some big people. I don't want to catch a 300 pounder or a 15 stone app. I don't want to do that. You know, I just want to disturb your balance, because most people think they're quote unquote, they're good. Oh, I'm good. No, you're not good. I'm going to make you be amazing. Really? You don't know what I know. So I go slowly and they just move. So as soon as they come offline, stop. Hey, what happened? Let's do it again. Okay, hey, let me get more ready, whatever that means, right? Because that's what they say. Oh, hang on. Let me get more ready. So now they're going to think even more, right? So I'm going to give you one more tip after this. This just loads the deck in your favor. So I go again and they come forward again. Now there's more smoke coming out of the ears. Now their eyes are glazed over even more because they don't understand what happened here, because they look at Emma and they look at an athlete and they go, I don't get this. I'm a professional rugby player. How did you disturb my balance? Well, this is what I've learned. I don't play rugby. You do, but I learned about this. Can I ask you a question? The rugby guy goes, sure. If you needed more power to hit somebody on a tackle or kick the ball quicker or farther, I said, what would you do with your jaw? And they go, oh, I clench it. Because they all think clenching your jaw like this is going to give you more power. Just so you know, it's a neurological disaster on your brainstem. It's a neurological disaster. So I said, oh, let's try that theory. So they clench their jaw. You do the demo again, and it's even worse. Now they're really messed up. Now they're going, I said, it doesn't work, does it? No, it doesn't work. Watch this. Step on the technology. So now they failed 3 times. They have failed 3 times on the demo. Now you got to give them a passing grade. What's the passing grade? Step on the tech. So now I go on the insole, and you just saw with Dr. Mark, and I have a plethora of videos in my YouTube, my Facebook back office, and they don't move. Now they're even more discombobulated. I said, pretty cool, eh? Hang on. Okay, step off the tech. And just like Joe said, or Stewie said, let's do it a couple of times. It's like the light switch, folks. It's either on or it's off. You're in homeostasis or you're on the M5. You pick. Let me show you what it's like to be on the beach versus M5. Now they can understand that analogy. So I do it a couple of times. Now they're messed up. Now they get hope on the tech and they go, you know what? I got a present for you. You do? You got a gift? Yeah. You get this. You saw what happened with the insole? Yeah. I'm going to give you the beach for 2 days, or if you give them 2 patches for 4 days. Why? We know what's going to happen. Something's going to happen usually in those first 48 to 96 hours. Something's going to change as a rule. So I said, I got to give you a good feeling. So they're always walking away with a gift. They're always walking away with a patch, or 1 or 2 at least, depending on how much I like them. Okay, is what it is. Some of them give more because they got a lot of problems, right? That's why they're attracted to us, because we're a solutions-based company. All of us on this call have had a problem solved by this technology. That's what's so beautiful about our business. We're a solutions-based neurotechnology company. So they go, thank you very much for the present. Now I get to follow up with them. But they're not leaving. By the way, they do not get this unless they get the demo from me. I don't give them anything because they have nothing to gauge it on. Because you're not going to get emotionally disturbed by reading a bunch of words. I take notes. You're not get emotionally disturbed by reading words, not like the demo. So I said, I got to show you what this is going to do because I got to give them hope. Okay, that's one thing. The range of motion one, another one I do a little variation, just so you know. If I don't, you see some people use a dowel, like a broomstick coming across the chest. I just cross their arms like this. I put their hands on their shoulders like this, keep their head in alignment, and I said, just turn. And I just mark their elbow. So it's the axis rotating. It's very simple. I can do it in a very small space. So I just cross your arms. Let me bring my camera down here. I measure the tip of the elbow. So when they rotate and they stop, I stick my hand at that point and they go a couple of times. They go a couple of times to rotate and they stop and you mark it. Then you go back and then you step on the insoles and they're going to, just like Dr. Mark, they go for it. So you can do it in a very small space and there's no cheating here. They just stay right here and they just keep the arms right against their trunk and they just rotate. Okay, so that's a variation on that. I have variations on my back off in my Facebooks on doing demos on wheelchairs, people who are in wheelchairs. I've done this on paraplegics, people who have prosthetic limbs. Some of the functional stuff, and Stuart talked about this with archery, for example, is some of my seniors, I just do a sit to stand demo. Can you show me how you get out of your chair? And I do the demo like this one here, folks. I'll do the dynamic on a senior in a wheelchair because this is safe. Like the reason they're in a chair is it's comfort. It's in their security blanket because they know they have instability issues. So they're in a safe place. I always want them to feel safe with the demo. So if I'm doing if I'm Voxxing a senior in a room, I may even stick them in the corner of a room. So they got a wall on one side, there's a wall behind them, I'm in the front, and there's a friend beside them, there's no way they're gonna fall. So, and I go gentle. So it's security. I want them to feel safe at all times. And that's why I go very gently. Because you don't have to do much to disturb them. And they go, man, you didn't push very hard. No, I know. It's pretty sad, eh? Like, yeah, you're right. I thought I had good balance, Kev. Okay, let's do it again. Come on, get more ready. And they do it again. And they clench their jaw. And it's even worse. And you put them on the tech. So you just load in the deck for you to come out like a winner. Okay, so that's one aspect. What else I want to go here so I get distracted, so I get excited when I talk about the demo. It is what it is. Oh yeah, functional. So I do the demo on a senior in their chair like this, okay? And I can use the insole. They feel a difference. Or before that, I say, show me how you get out of your chair. And you can play the video. You can take your phone, okay, and take a video of them standing. Do the demo, put the patch on, video again. Now they can compare themselves. They can see how well they moved or how they changed. You may have seen this. I did this with a gentleman with a concussion. I had him read the medical report. I have a post of a patient I had in sports med. He had a concussion. He called me. As soon as he spoke, I knew he had a brain injury. So I go and visit him. And I said, we're going to do a little experiment. It's a functional. So remember what Jay talked about? It's how you function. So I said, I want you to read the medical report from the hospital, and I'm going to video it. So I did 30 seconds to read the paragraph, and you can hear his words are all over the place. I said, we're going to put it on just like Stewie did. I'm going to put on the sleeve. I'm going to put on the patch. I'm going to go get a coffee at Starbucks. I'm going to come back 30 minutes later, and then we're going to read the same paragraph again, and I'm going to play the video. Same paragraph. He was 7 seconds faster. He was like blown away, just like Emma, just like, what happened? Yeah. Welcome to a better neurological system. 30 seconds, 23, 7 seconds faster. You pick. Thanks for this, Kev. I need more socks, please. Great. So there's lots of little ways you can tweak it in regards to their world. Okay. Yeah, we have, like I said, get good at the static, the lateral, dynamic, and the range of motion. Get good at those. Have fun with them. Take your time. You know you're going to win. I haven't had, just so you know, for new people here, I haven't had anybody defeat me, not me, Jay's Tech, in 7 years. And I have Voxxed every type of professional athlete possible. They all fail the demo. I can't tell you what words they said. There would be a lot of beeps right now, but that's how powerful it is with this tech. So I'm gonna mess them up. Guys, it's like you got an app that I can talk to people in the UK. Yeah, it's called Zoom. This is amazing. Yeah, I know, pretty cool. I don't know how it works. I just click the little camera image. Bam, it's there. Welcome to my world. So I find ways to explain the tech, function, concussion, sit the shit. Wheelchair people, I do the demo in a wheelchair. I can just do this one here. So two things happen, and I again have on my Facebook. Their arms come down, they can't keep their arms at 90, they buckle down, or they come forward in their wheelchair. So if I turn like this, you're doing the dynamic, you're pushing down, and they come forward like this in the chair. They can't sit straight, they can't stay tall like a tree, and they're in a very safe place. So you get close. You see my videos. I get close to the people. I want to have good biomechanics. I want to be in a very strong, safe position. So that's why I get really close in with them. And you can see my hand positioning. And there's a video on Facebook that we have on that. Ball of the foot. Yeah. So just biggest thing is go slow, because it's security for them. They feel safe and they realize, man, you didn't have to push very hard or pull to disturb me. No, I know. Let's do it again. Or some people, and this comes back to, I think, Emma's point with some of these smart people, is they go, oh, no, it's a placebo. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's do the other one. So I do this one, no tech, no tech, finish on a positive. I said, let's do the lateral. Let's start you on the tech. Let's start. I did this with my football player. Start on the tech, no tech, back on tech, finish on the no tech of what you know. So now you can't say placebo, because I started the first one with you yourself. Then I started the second one on our technology. So how are you going to explain that? Yeah, you got a point there, Kev. Oh, by the way, if that's not enough for you, I know you're disturbed. I have some brain mapping. I have that 30-second clip from Dr. Mark, and I have it ready on my phone. And just like you guys talked about Rebecca Naylor, I show the video with Daisy with MS with the tremors in her hand. I said, watch this. And they just watch it and they go, holy jumping, this is amazing. Yeah. But you know what? You got to do it. You got to go on your own journey. You got to try the tea and biscuits the English way. Tell me if you like it. I like 1 sugar or 2, whatever. Find your recipe and then away we go. And then all of us, as I say, the rest is history. So we have enough tools in our toolbox to disturb people emotionally and also intellectually because of the science that we have. And if that's not enough for them, then it's just not the right time for them. They're working through some other stuff. That's how I look at it now. So I said, I'll give them some grace. I'll give you some time. You got to learn to trust me. And this is why when I share this demo with people, like I'm jacked. Like people go, so they see that you're excited and your enthusiasm, so they know that, no, you're not making this up, man, because you got stories like this. Like, you're going to remember Stewie's story and Emma's story and Joe's story, whatever. You got it. You got to have them like this, because when you're dropping them and you're showing them, they got nothing to stand on, because they go, you're not memorizing any scripts, Kev. No, I don't need to memorize any scripts, because I'm living out of my heart, because I got it, because I know what I've seen. So the new people here, you're going to build up your confidence. You have other people around to help you. I'm always available to help if you have a call with somebody. I got a lot of different videos I can bring in with children, seniors, pro athletes, heart mechanic, whatever. Got them all. Why? We got to earn the trust. That's what this is. You got to earn their trust by your heart and how you speak, and just enjoy the journey, and we'll attract the right people. So
fantastic. Thanks for that, Kev. Kev, can you just clarify the Clinch draw bit for everyone, please?
So most people, folks, they think that, I asked them, especially the athletes, I said, if you needed more power, so what would you do with your jaw? Trust me, not 99.99% of the planet will say, oh, I'm going to bite down on my molars. I'm going to clench my jaw, and that's going to give me more power. Okay, let's test that theory. So clench your jaw. So they clench their jaw. You do the demo again. It's a disaster. Then I go, it doesn't work, does it? Because now they felt it. See, they heard something. They heard something from somebody said, clenching your jaw is going to give you more power. It's not true. That's what Jay's learned with homeostasis and the cranial nerves. That's where the science is from. And that's that paper from 1964 from Dr. C.J. Griffin, the neuromuscular dentist. He already proved it in 64 of what happens to the cranial nerves and the brainstem when it's under duress. It doesn't function optimally. Now watch what happens when you step on our tech. And then they go, OMG. I said, which body do you like? Do you like the new body or the old body? You pick. I got more people to go to, but you got to live in your own body. And then they go, wow, that's pretty amazing, Kev. Let me tell you some stories. So while I got them, I'm just dropping them. I like archery. Well, how important is balance and stability when you draw the bow? It's really important, Stuart. What if I could, here, go fire some arrows? She's good. I did my experiment. I did my double-blind placebo study. I need more of this technology, Stuart, because I can get back to doing my love, which is archery, because I haven't been able to do it for 5 years because I was in so much pain. You're like this angel. You're like this guiding light, and you come in with this patch and this insole and this sock, and you give them hope. And we got a lot of hope, right? We got a lot of science. And I go, we're learning more. We got more coming. I said, we got 6 techs now. I started with one tech. I got 6. It's over for me because I knew what happened with one. I got 5 more in my toolbox. I'm good. But that's the options we have. So anyway, I gotta stop talking because we're like Joe said, Kevin, go forever.
No, that's brilliant. Thanks, Kevin. Thank you very much. And I'm a note taker too, and I even do little drawings. Look, this is you, Kev, with your arms crossed, with your hands on your shoulders. But I don't know about you guys, but I certainly pick up so many gems from these calls. Tonight, solution-based neurotechnology company. Now, what a fantastic phrase that is to be able to use. We know that we're creating solutions, and you only need to listen to Kevin for 5 minutes to realise he's not talking about how the tech's working. He's getting them to picture what it would be like if they were improving that situation, if they could shoot straighter, if they could be more stable, if they could be stronger. So it is all about putting the thoughts in their head, how they want to improve and they want to be better. And I've been so guilty of, you're trying to explain what the tech's all about and you kind of lose sight of them and what they actually would get from this. And so, you know, again, go on to Voxxination, go on to search Kevin, because there's so much powerful information there. The sit to stand demos, yeah, all those sorts of things. Now, I actually got to do a demo on a couple of guys in a gym not that long ago, hadn't done it for a while. And because of COVID, I was kind of trying to stand away from them. So when Kev says, think of your biomechanics, most definitely. As a massage therapist, I'm very conscious of where I'm putting my body and the effort on my body, so I'm not injuring myself. Clearly watch how Kev does the dynamic one, where he's coming in from the side and it's down. It's not putting any strain on it. Sorry, Kev, you wanted to say something then?
When you said gym, I got excited again. So here's another one. We work with athletes because, see, and don't take this the wrong way, right? See, they look at us, they're going, how did you move me? Like, Kev, you're like 5'10", 165 pounds. I'm 6'6", 280. I got all these muscles and you just move me. Yeah, you must be making me think something. Okay, let's have some fun. So now we go to the gym. And there's a demo we have, folks, with the lateral flies to fatigue. So I do this because my athletes, you know, sometimes they got an ego. It is what it is. But I'll work with you. I said, let's go to the gym. I'm going to put the insoles right in front of your feet. You stand right behind the insoles, just like Dr. Mark showed. You pick a set of dumbbells that you can do at least 15 reps. Okay, you pick the weight. I'm going to run the camera. You're going to stand in front of the mirror and you're just going to lift away until you can't lift another rep about whatever you know about your body. Deal? Okay. When you can't lift another rep, you step on those insoles. Let's see what happens. You'll do more. No way. Yes way. Let's do it right here, right now. Jose's done this. A lot of you guys with athletes. So I said, let's have some fun. So they get position, camera starts. I'm not touching them. This is what's so profound about this demo, is you're not doing anything. So for some of you have a physical issue going, this is great. I'm just going to do the range of motion because I don't have to do anything. The tech does it. And I'm going to do a lateral fly to fatigue because I don't have to touch them either. They're going to do their own demo. And then they step on the insoles and they do 10 to 15% more reps like this every time. And it's mind-blowing for them. They're going, and then I go, have you heard of this athlete like Hafthor Bjornsson, the guy that plays Mountain in Game of Thrones? You go, yeah. Well, we have a video with him. Really? They don't know this stuff. So I said, watch what happened to him, or Eddie Hall, or these athletes we work with, and go, that's the difference with our tech. Which body do you like? Tech or no tech? You pick. That's the difference with the tech. So that's a fun one for my people that, like, I got Voxx associates that are in wheelchairs. This is a business for them. So it's difficult for them to do the balance demo because they're in a wheelchair. I got a guy who has MS. So I said, okay, just do the range of motion one and do a lateral fly if you can. But the range of motion for a lot of people, is enough because that's a functional test that I just got more range of motion. Yeah, watch how that translates to getting in and out of a car, reaching for something on the top shelf, getting out of your chair, getting out of your bed, getting out of the bath, getting into the shower, walking downstairs. That's how I twist it into everyday activities because they can relate to that because that's where they have their challenges. So like Joe said, we're solutions-based neurotechnology company. We solve problems by optimizing their nervous system. Watch what happens when I give you the right app or the right tech to work on the right part of your brain. You tell me how it made you feel because you're living in your body. I got to live in mine. I got things to do. So do you. So do all of us. And that's what I do. So I'm not talking anymore. I promise. I'm done.
Oh, do you know, I really could listen to you all night. In the chat box there, Frederica has said that when he does the dynamic pose, because he's got his elbows in a particular position, he does the range of motion one in that one. But I like my drawing, really, of Kev with the hands on the shoulders. But anyway, we will post this this recording onto the Voxxination page. If there's information in there you want to go back and listen to again, obviously keep an eye out for that. Go and just put search demo within the Voxxination group, and you will see so much powerful information. But certainly look at the people's positioning, and just go and practice and enjoy it. Be confident with it. Okay, as Kev said. So I think on that note, Stuart, do you wish to follow up with anything on there?
Yeah, just a quick point, because obviously a lot of people have joined during the COVID years, and they won't have experienced the dynamic, the Voxx tests. So yeah, whoever signed you up, whoever you've got in contact with, speak to them, get a test done as soon as you possibly can for yourself. Have other people do it with you, and experience it for yourself, because you need to have that knowledge in your memory bank.
Yeah, that's a great point, actually, because I must admit, for ages I hadn't experienced it, and I was busy talking about the product and everything else, and I was going completely on the faith of watching these things happen, and I was seeing benefits myself, but I hadn't experienced that demo. So yeah, good point. If you've not experienced it, watch the videos and actually get somebody else to do it with you, or the person that got you involved in the business if you get to see them. So on that note, I know we've run over our normal sort of half an hour or so, but I'm sure you'll agree, really powerful info. We can get out there and we can start to really show what VoxxLife is all about, and really, certainly in the UK, start to get more and more people hearing and doing, basically. So thank you for joining us this evening. Hope you found that useful. And next week, Stuart, what's next week? Is it real people?
We've got a real sport, and we're going to focus on football.
We were second out of 24 people. Come on, that was a fantastic achievement for us in England. So yeah, okay, no, good one. Excellent. Look forward to it. So that's next Wednesday, 8:30. Keep an eye out on the Voxxination or on Telegram, whatever you're on. It will be a different Zoom. It'll probably be back to Nikki's number, won't it, Stuart? Maybe. Not
Hopefully.
sure. Yeah.
Okay. I'll stop recording now. We all done?